Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 6 o'clock and we begin tonight marking 20 years since Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, leaving more than 1,000 dead in its wake, along with neighborhoods and communities across the city destroyed. Thousands of others were able to evacuate before that hurricane hit. One of them was an Indiana state senator. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker has his story.
20 years might seem like a lifetime ago for some, but when he stands on the floor of the Indiana State Senate, Democratic State Senator Fady Qaddoura can't help but remember the path he took to get there and some of the powerful life lessons he learned along the way.
We can evolve and we can succeed and we can rebuild no matter how difficult things get.
Qaddoura is no stranger to rebuilding. He's done it a few times now. The first came when he left his home in the West Bank where he grew up in poverty, moving to New Orleans in 2000 right after high school to study computer science.
Pursuing the American dream, I only had one dream in life. I wanted to become wealthy so that I can take care of mom and dad.
5 years later, Qaddoura's American dream became a dream deferred when Hurricane Katrina hit. He was only 25 at the time, with a wife and a newborn baby.
And we just had our newborn and we're about to start a beautiful new life. So we were thinking just like anyone else about our future plans.
What came in the days that followed, though, was an immediate future filled with sleepless nights and hunger in Houston, Texas, where he'd evacuated with his family, with basically just the clothes on their backs.
For the first 3 nights, we'd be circling around, sleeping in the car, finding places to go get support from, and just trying to learn, like, what's next? What can we do?
3 months later, Qaddoura and his family eventually found a more permanent place to stay in a one-room studio in a Houston motel.
It lacked the basic, what I would consider habitability standards for human beings, but it was the only option.
During the next 4 years in Houston is where Qaddoura says he first discovered his passion for working with nonprofits, helping other evacuees.
The more that I did that work, the more that I became interested in public service as a profession, more than just volunteering.
That work eventually brought him to Indiana to study and work in 2009. His first job here, an intern in the Indiana State Senate. 10 years later, he was elected to serve as a state senator in the same body where he once interned. Through it all, he says he never lost hope, a lesson he hopes others will take away from his story.
But if you're hopeful, it gives you the idea and the thought that tomorrow can be a better day, next week is a better week, next month or next year things will get better. So it keeps driving you forward.
In Indianapolis, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
20 years ago, I was covering Indiana Task Force 1 as they performed search and rescue operations in Biloxi, Mississippi. That was another city hammered by the hurricane. We posted my stories from 2005 over on WTHR+. You can watch those on demand right now. Tonight at 6, an Indianapolis man is now under arrest more than a month after police say his 2-year-old daughter accidentally shot herself and died. Police say U.S. Marshals arrested 23-year-old Leonta Anderson in Chicago. His daughter died July 11th on the northeast side of Indianapolis. According to court documents, Anderson admitted to leaving a loaded gun on the top of a shoe rack shortly before the shooting. Tonight, he's charged with neglect of a dependent. Tonight, IMPD has now made an arrest in connection to 2 reports of attempted rape on the Monon Trail. Police say the first attack took place August 8th. That's when a woman says a man attacked her before several people stepped in to help. Then August 14th, police got another call for an attempted rape, this time near the Sutherland Avenue area of the Monon. Police tell us they believe those 2 attacks are connected. Neighbors tonight are raising concerns about the safety of an intersection in the Arlington Woods neighborhood on the east side of Indianapolis. They say tall weeds are to blame. And now they're telling our Jenna Webster their reports to the city have gone unanswered.
Heading south towards 30th Street, where our issue is.
Deneen Hurt often finds herself driving down her parents' street, Elmhurst Drive.
So here we are coming upon the T where 30th Street and Elmhurst meet.
But lately, this intersection has her taking detours.
And that's impossible.
Impossible to see over the weeds.
And it's even like growing over the guardrail there. Okay, there's a car coming there.
She's in the middle of the intersection to see the oncoming traffic.
This is crazy. It's very nerve-wracking. I'm nervous now after trying to get out there, having you in the car and worrying that we're going to get T-boned or something there.
Hurt's not the only one feeling nervous.
It's gotten to the point this year I've gotten real concerned, so.
Thomas Ewing is too. He says in the past the city comes in the summer and cuts down the weeds, but he hasn't seen it in 2 years.
And it gets more and more dangerous as each day goes by.
So to put it into perspective, I'm about 5'2". These weeds standing right here are definitely taller than me.
It's like having blinders on.
And we call and complain and nothing gets done about it. The lady down the street's reported it. The lady across the street a couple years ago had a petition sign. So yeah, we've tried to get it to be maintained, but it's not.
Last August, a biker was hit and killed in a car accident here. It happened at night, and there's no shoulder against the guardrail.
It's a danger just all the way around. They need a speed trap there. Just that whole area is a mess.
Neighbors are now worried the overgrowth is another accident waiting to happen.
And I just would not want that to happen again, especially, to my parents or to any resident on the street.
In Indianapolis, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Now, we reached out to the city to ask them when they last cut the weeds at that intersection and if there are plans to cut them back soon. They say they're looking into it. It is Friday night, and that means Operation Football. Want to give you a live look at Brownsburg High School. Look at all these kids there. They are ramped up and ready for some football tonight. Dom and Eli will be joining us in a few minutes for a preview of our game of the week. So it's Cathedral against Brownsburg, so we'll be talking about that later. Good to see all those kids out there.
Yes.
And Angela, just perfect weather for football tonight.
I love seeing everyone in short sleeves.
I know, it's
There's
great.
no heavy coat, no umbrella, no nothing. And get your hands, if you can, on one of those really cool Operation Football shirts.
Exactly.
I love the blue this year. It is going to be a great night for high school football or anything you might have planned. Temperatures in the 70s now. We will stay there through 8 o'clock and then eventually fall through the 60s during the late evening hours. Sunset is at 8:20. 75 Noblesville, 75 Indianapolis, 71 Bunker Hill, and 78 degrees in Brown County. We do have a few clouds overhead, but no rain. These clouds associated with a little weather system that's sitting up to our north and west. I point this out because if this holds together, it brings us another wave of clouds early half of tomorrow and perhaps a couple of spotty showers. A sunny start to Saturday. This is tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm going to stop Future Track 13 at noon. Just don't want you to be surprised if you're up at the big game in West Lafayette, Ball State and Purdue. If there's a sprinkle or two, that's all we're expecting. Otherwise, just a few clouds around during the day tomorrow. 77, 79 on Sunday. We're at 82 for Labor Day.